Coming up on Mountain News this morning, leaders are working together to encourage Kentuckians to wear masks to help slow the spread of COVID-19. And as we inch closer to the 4th of July, marina owners at Lake Cumberland are preparing for what they believe will be a record turnout. Plus, we take a look at one of the latest changes here in Hazard that moves towards revitalizing downtown while promoting arts in Appalachia.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News This Morning.
Good morning, I'm Lacey Roberts, and thank you for joining us on Mountain News This Morning. Today is Thursday, July 2nd, or like we call it around here, Friday Eve, and it's definitely well needed for this weekend. Good news, that rain is out, but we were talking about some visibility issues this morning. Let's bring in Brandon Robinson so he can tell us exactly where those are. Good morning, Brandon.
Good morning, Lacey. Everywhere, with the exception of Jenkins. We're looking at US 119, US 23 at Jenkins. And Jenkins this area going up a mountain, so that might be why there's not as much fog up there. But as we take a look at these numbers here, it's everywhere. And it is thick and dense too. The threshold for limited visibility is 5 miles. Everywhere on this map, basically, except for Wise there, at least on the sensors at the airport showing 5 miles or less. So again, it is a very foggy morning out there in most areas. Temperatures in the 60s area-wide, getting close to 70 there at Irvine and in London, both at 69, but everybody else there hovering there in the mid to upper 60s. It's going to be a hot day, 87, muggy conditions, and fog gives way to sunny skies. So that's some good news. First time we've not seen rain in quite some time. It will return, though, I'll tell you when, in a few minutes. Lacey.
Thank you, Brandon. Governor Beshear is urging Kentuckians to continue working toward limiting the spread of COVID-19. The state added 220 more cases yesterday. So far, 15,842 Kentuckians have tested positive for the virus. The governor also announced 7 more deaths. The state's death toll now sits at 572, but the state has now confirmed more than 4,000 recoveries. We also learned of a new COVID-19 related death in eastern Kentucky. Harlan County Judge Executive Dan Mosley says this is their 3rd death. 26 people have tested positive for the virus in Harlan County. And some states and many cities are urging to make mandatory mask orders to control the spread of the virus. For now, Governor Beshear says that he won't mandate masks in Kentucky. It's still just a recommendation, but leaders are encouraging everyone to wear a mask in public. Shelby Smithson has more.
Conflicting messages about face masks from the first sign of the COVID-19 virus are lingering in the general public.
One woman told me that she's getting mixed messages from the federal government, the state, the local, and she said, what am I supposed to do?
It's that confusion that leaders from both sides of the political aisle and from every level of government are trying to clear up.
The single most important thing you can do, not only to protect yourself, but protect others until we get a vaccine, put on the mask.
You need to have one on you to where when you can't be 6 feet apart from everybody, you can pull it up and make sure that you're safe.
We're trying to get that message out far and wide about the masking.
Here in Lexington, city leaders are working on launching a campaign with community influencers, encouraging citizens to wear face masks in public.
Masks are only a slight inconvenience compared to this actual virus.
And compared to another shutdown, states like Florida, California, and Texas are already shutting businesses back down because of spikes in cases. We're not seeing those surges in Kentucky right now, but if we do.
If we have significant increases, we'll look at mandating masks.
In Lexington, Shelby Smithson, WKYT.
Now, Governor Beshear says that he's received reports of employees at businesses not wearing masks. He says that is mandatory and can be grounds for those businesses to be closed. And marina owners at Lake Cumberland are preparing for a busy holiday weekend. The region is dealing with an increase in COVID-19 cases, but they're still expecting a record turnout. Health experts say being outdoors allows people to spread out. People across the country are booking their weekend, saying why not isolate on a houseboat instead of a regular house?
We love to cruise, so we felt like we're on a landlocked cruise, but it was wonderful. And then we rented a pontoon boat one day. We rented a fast boat one day.
We've been coming down here for about 20 years now. We join up with family. We keep it family. We have our boat, and we go out and grab a cove and spend the day.
Officials with the marina say that they are following all CDC guidelines. And the Appalachian Arts Alliance has offered dance, music, and art for many years, but now they're opening a hub for all of their classes. After more than 1 year of renovations, the Art Station on Main Street in Hazard is now ready to be open to the public. The Arts Alliance showed off its building on Facebook yesterday. WYMT's Emily Bennett takes us inside the Art Station.
And I am so thrilled to be able to welcome you to this first shot of the Art Station.
For nearly 7 years, plans have been in the works to create this building.
It's been a long journey. It's been a difficult journey.
And now, after more than 1 year of renovations, the Art Station is nearly ready to go.
Our dance classes, as I said, will be here. We have portable bars that we can use for our ballet classes.
Dance, music, art, and culinary classes will all be available in this space.
We are able to expand our classes beyond 100%. We have had a crazy amount of people interested in hip-hop classes, and now is your chance.
And those in the community can rent the building for personal events.
This space is completely transformable. It can be empty, it can be changed, you can add to it with what you have, you can bring in what we have.
Helping Hazard in their efforts to revitalize downtown.
So that's really exciting for us to have this kind of like cornerstone spot open downtown that kind of connects with a lot of other work that we're working on downtown.
While also keeping the arts alive in Appalachia.
If we don't supply an outlet or an avenue for these children and these youth in our community to be exposed to it, then who are we going to listen to on the radio? Who are we going to go to a concert and watch? Whose art are we going to appreciate, and who's going to act in those movies?
In Hazard, Emily Bennett, WYMT Mountain News.
On July 11th from 11 to 1, they are holding an open house brunch with live music. Social distancing tours of the building will also be available. And despite the global pandemic, many organizations are continuing summer camps, but just in a different way. One of those is the Challenger Learning Center here in Hazard. The center is back to hosting summer day camps 1 day a week through the month of July. Wednesday, campers returned to the classroom building with Legos. Of course, with COVID-19, the camp had to make some adjustments, but the center is just happy to have eager children back and ready to learn. The center is also holding virtual tours. And across the Commonwealth, summer basketball has been up in the air, but yesterday, Kentucky Premier East still had a girls basketball camp at the Letcher County Recreation Center. About 20 Kentucky Premier players ranging from 2nd to 4th grade learned from a familiar face. Former Kentucky point guard Michaela Epps helped out with the camp. She says she is happy to give back to the future of women's basketball.
Just giving back and pouring myself into the youth. I wish I would have had somebody like me when I was their age, and so now I'm that for them. And so, of course, Kentucky Premier, I actually had some individual workouts scheduled today in Marion County that I canceled and rescheduled just so I can come up here, because I told them, I can get my local kids anytime, but getting, the mountain kids, the Eastern KY kids, very few far in between. And so, again, I'm very grateful to be here today.
Kentucky Premier East says that they plan on hosting another camp next week with another former Kentucky basketball player. And a trip to Pittsburgh 3 years ago led Floyd County Schools to receive a National Science Foundation grant. With this grant, school officials were able to ramp up their STEM academy. Now, school officials are ready to move to that next step, the Floyd County School of Innovation. I talked with those involved in this process to learn more.
I will never forget the feeling I got when I was able to observe those students doing what they were doing with those STEM devices. I wanted my kids in Floyd County to be able to do that.
Denise Isaac, Chief Information Officer of Floyd County Schools, started a mission.
We don't want to take kids through the 8th grade and drop the pathway. So being able to serve all students in Floyd County, we began calling it our STEM Academy.
An academy that grew to become the Floyd County School of Innovation.
We will be able to serve Prestonsburg High School, Betsy Lane High School, and Floyd Central High School. We knew that we wanted to provide more pathways focused on continued computational thinking.
Providing students the control to decide their educational future, a group that educational leaders say are forgotten.
It's the middle group of kids who are our diverse learners. They are hands-on learners. They need to be active, moving around the classroom, and that is one of the things that this school will allow.
Focusing on students who would not normally choose college, but rather work straight out of school, offering 3 pathways: pre-engineering.
Computer science has a lot of pathways underneath that topic. Kids are going to be able to print
and heavy equipment.
And having these ideas and knowing that all of this is going to come to life, it blows my mind. Like seeing our simulators.
Now this is a simulator of a dozer. This will be used for the heavy equipment pathway. This gives students the feel of being inside a dozer before they actually get in one. Christina Grace is a math teacher and now principal of the new school.
And this can be their why. This can be why they get up in the morning to come to school. It can be why they want to learn again.
Something for everyone and anyone who wants to take a hold of their future. In Martin, Lacey Roberts, WYMT Mountain News. The school is still under construction and there are only 100 slots available for the Floyd County School of Innovation, and the deadline to apply is July 10th.
Foggy conditions continue this morning as you head across the region here, and we'll see that basically linger through mid-morning before starting to dissipate, but be careful. Slow it down this morning, and as Will always says, use those low beams. Temperatures in the 60s pretty much area-wide. Now even Lexington back down to 68. Louisville the only 70, at least that we can see on this map here. We go to the forecast for today. 87 this afternoon. After starting out in the 60s, we'll get down to about 67 again tonight under those clear skies. Lacey.
Thank you, Brandon. And thank you for joining us on Mountain News this morning. More news is on the way. Coming up, many states are rolling back their reopening plans as the country passes a tragic milestone during the COVID-19 pandemic.